Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Black Ops 3 In Depth. The specialist episodes are finally here. We're going to be starting out with Firebreak today. We're going to be going in reverse order with the specialists because I thought that would be a little bit more fun and the format's going to change. We are going to talk some about their lore, some about their cosmetic options. We're going to talk about the weapon and the ability. Most of the ones have unique interactions, so we'll be doing some testing, and it's going to generally be a longer episode format, so do buckle up. We're going to do lore first, then we're going to do the ability, then the weapon, and then some of the more cosmetic options. So the lore for Firebreak, if you can read it on the COD wiki, or if you unlock all of his different transmissions, is kind of straightforward. He's a pyromaniac. He is from the Czech Republic, not actually Russian despite the accent, and he kind of got a firebug early on in his life, burning buildings, doing stuff, got in trouble with his father, but his father was abusive, his mother left him, so him and his sister conspired to kind of burn him to death. Did some time in corrections, ended up doing pyro work in the military, and really, truly, genuinely enjoyed his work. He considers fire to be a living, breathing thing, something that's difficult to control, but always psychologically scary. He is unique in the fact that he is one of the few characters in multiplayer that's aware that multiplayer is a simulation. If you haven't heard this theory before, it's pretty much backed up by all the specialist things, that all the specialists in multiplayer are playing a simulation, that somebody got a copy of their DNI or their, of their virtual self, and they're loading it up in virtual reality to run battle scenarios. So Firebreak was not only the person that recruited all of the different multiplayer characters that you're seeing, but he's also spying on them constantly in multiplayer. So Firebreak might be the only person in multiplayer that's actually alive, but he does reference another plant or another spy amongst the multiplayer characters. Very interesting. So now that we've blabbed about that, let's talk about the Heatwave. The Heatwave is one of the more tactical abilities in Black Ops 3. When you hit both bumpers, or whatever control scheme you're using, you immediately release a giant wave of heat that blasts anybody, and it says a small area. It's absolutely not a small area. It's a huge area. It both stuns them, concusses them, distorts their vision, their hearing, pretty much everything, and it makes them extremely easy to kill. They also get a visual burn effect on them, so you can see who is affected by the Heatwave, so you can prioritize your targets. I think it's extremely tactical, and I think it's kind of underused. I don't see a whole lot of people using it. However, because it's fire, that's kind of a complicated ability. People want to know if it goes through walls, if it works underwater, what the range is, how it interacts with other things, and especially how it interacts with kill streaks and equipment. So to answer all of those questions, let's jump to the very long testing section. This is the maximum effective range of the Heatwave. It's very, very long in my opinion. I hit J-Hub all the way over there, although I do want to say you have to maintain a line of sight. It will not go through walls. As you can see, J-Hub I didn't get a hit marker and he's not burned, and you have to have a perfectly direct line of sight. It won't warp around corners even just a smidgen. I'm just like 1 inch on the wrong side of this. No hit whatsoever. It goes out perfectly spherically. It does go through doors, rooms, windows. It's just a perfect outward spear. Wanted to point that out to you. So you can't go through walls, but you can go through doorways, through objects, and just about anything else as long as you have line of sight on the target. The distortion from first person is very extreme. It distorts both your vision, your movement, and your hearing, and it doesn't seem to make any difference how far away you are. Even when J-Hub's further away and he activates his, it's just as distorting as it is up close. Or in this class, I'm running Tactical Mask, and I'm still extremely distorted for the entire duration of the ability, so Tactical Mask will not protect you whatsoever. It also works just fine underwater. You seems to have the same effective range and the time. You can activate it under the water and hit people that are above the water, or vice versa. You can be above the water and hit people that are under the water. It works just fine. Like any other stun or concussion, if you're hit by it, you can still wall run at perfectly normal speed. You won't fall off the wall, unfortunately. I think that would be kind of cool. And it'll destroy equipment. That's a shock charge. I can just activate and destroy pretty much any piece of plantable equipment it'll destroy. It'll take out a Talon in one surprising hit, so you can save yourself from kill streaks. Unfortunately, well, I almost skipped ahead. You can destroy the Hellstorm missile, but unfortunately by the time it's close enough for you to heatwave it, it'll almost always kill you. It will blow up hives, which is pretty cool in my opinion. I can jump over these hives and just detonate and destroy all of them, and it will not absolutely do anything to ground streaks. I mean, I guess it damages them, but it doesn't really seem to do anything to this bunch of streaks right here. They seem to be pretty much unaffected by my Heatwave. Heatwave is one of the faster charging abilities, taking 2 minutes and 55 seconds in TDM to charge up with no kills or anything. Just if you sit there and do nothing, you'll get one every 3 minutes. Or if you decide to run overclock, it'll go a little bit faster at 2 minutes 11 seconds. I don't feel that this is a necessary ability to have overclock with, but it is kind of nice because you could just run overclock and not have any stun grenades, or if you just want to always have that safety net of being able to stun when somebody rushes you, it's nice, but most of the time I'm going to say it's unnecessary to run overclock with. It'll charge up just as fast in the other modes, proportionally. The other modes take a little bit longer, and you only need to get maybe 3-4 kills with this to have it completely charged. So if you're on a rampage, you could realistically activate this ability several times within 1 minute, just so long as you're killing people. I think it's extremely tactical because you can enter a room, detonate, and kind of stun the entire room and then kill anybody in the room. You can jump over an objective, airburst it, hit pretty much anybody on the objective, and then your teammates will pick them up. You can stun ball carriers, flag carriers, you can break hard points with this, you can break dom points with this. Some of the only real weaknesses are that it doesn't really interfere with your enemy's ability to shoot, so sometimes you'll stun them and then get immediately shot in the face and feel kind of like a goober. The Heatwave is not a bad reactive ability as well. If somebody sneaks up on you and you get surprised if they get the first shot on you, as long as you have the ability to activate the Heatwave and then slide or boost above any direction, whatever, even go prone sometimes, their movements are really restricted, so you can use it to save yourself. Sometimes even if somebody's shooting you in the back, you can pop it and then spin around really fast. As for this ability being competitive or pubs, I would say that it could be competitive. People definitely could use this in competitive Call of Duty, but I feel that there are other better abilities that are more frequently used. This is a fantastic one for pubs though, especially when you catch a bunch of idiots kind of bunching up in one area. You can boom, Heatwave all 3 of them and get any kind of kill, any kind of challenges. Really good to one of the more common strategies is to activate the Heatwave and then get headshots. I maybe have done a few of these myself as well. But let's move on and talk about the Purifier. Many people consider the Purifier to be overpowered, and for good reason. It may take a long time to charge up at 5 minutes, or 3:45 if you're going to run overclock, but it does have an extremely large, we'll say, ammo capacity in it. You can go on multi-kill, fury kill, frenzy kill sprees with this thing. You can wipe out the entire team several times over before you need to reload, which not many of the other specialist weapons can do. You can carry it, it's easy to use, you don't have to ADS, it's hipfire, and you only have to touch them once to kill them. Now you'll kill them a little faster with constant burning, but you literally only have to pass them through that flame one time and it's a guaranteed kill, which makes it extremely powerful. However, lots of people do have questions about it. Question number 1 is always about the range. It's got approximately the same range as the Heatwave, which is extremely good. I mean, that's kind of an impressive range that I just got J-Hub at right there. The next question is how it interacts with water. It's kind of strange in that it won't shoot under the water, so when J-Hub swims over, and as long as he stays under the water, I cannot hit him. The flames will completely disperse at the surface of the water, and if you take the Purifier under the water, it takes the range down to almost 0. It's like a blowtorch in Battlefield. You have to get right up in their faces. It's almost a melee weapon underwater, but it will work. Some of the other myths associated with the Purifier are how they interact with the hives. I'll show you that you cannot destroy the hives with it on the ground. It just doesn't deal any damage to them. Those are some very tough insects. And people also said that when you detonate the hives, you can spin in circle and burn all the bugs. That's not true either. It pretty much kills you immediately. Back on track with the Purifier weapon discussion. I have quite a lot of Purifier gameplay here and a little bit of the build up to me earning the Purifier and a couple of different things. And I wanted to talk about this in detail because so many people consider it overpowered, and I think they consider it overpowered just because of how many times they get killed with it and not how easy it is to use. It's very strange in that it can be very easy to use and you can get a lot of kills and it can be awesome, and it can also be woefully unsatisfying. So one of the immediate things that you will notice about the Purifier is that if you nick somebody with a flame, if they pass through that flamethrower for a fraction of a second, they are definitely going to die. However, they don't die immediately. They have to burn first, so they have some time to move around, some time to actually shoot me like they did right there, and you'll see me get killed by the person that I'm purifying several times over in this gameplay because it's not that hard to do. If you only touch them once, it takes about, I don't know, half a second, a third a second for them to actually die. However, the longer you hold the Purifier on them, it does pump out more damage. I looked this up in the stat chart. It deals like 35 damage per tick per individual unit of time, and the longer you hold down the trigger and hose them, the faster that damage will apply. So while you're purifying people, they can shoot you, they can kill you. This happened especially often while getting this gameplay. There was a shotgun guy on the other team, and I would purify him, and then he would immediately shotgun me in the face, and we would just trade kills 1 for 1. So it can seem very ineffective, and it's the only weapon that I can think of, except for, not even the Tempest will do that, yeah, except for maybe the Hives or something, where you have the opportunity to move and carry the flames with you. If you get set on fire, you can't go underwater and save yourself. That's an old myth. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. But the cool thing about the weapon is that you don't have to ADS with it. I think that's extremely important. You can just hip fire and spray and pray, and just so long as you stay mobile and get somebody in that cone, they're going to die, which is awesome. And it also leads to the best way to use the Purifier. If you really want to maximize the Purifier, you want to go hip fire only, obviously. You just want to kind of spray and spin in circles and just tap and just touch everybody. And your goal is to completely avoid extended gunfights. You don't want to be face to face with somebody and try and purify them in their mouth and try to beat their gun with your Purifier, because the gun's going to win almost all of the time. The flames take a little while to work. However, if you duck and dive and weave and juke and move in and out of corners, and you're really slick and you just kind of brush them with the flame lightly and then scoot away, they're going to die and you get the kill and you get to keep on going. That's exactly how I like to use it. I like to run the train on people. I'll scoot in for just a second, hip fire through the doorway, light them on fire, and then I'm already going to move. I'm not going to stay. I'm not going to challenge. I don't need to watch them burn. I know that it's going to be taken care of. And it works very, very, very consistently at that, very awesomely actually, and that's what I would recommend you guys do as well. So as for using the Purifier in competitive, I would say almost never. So yeah, it's easy, but it's also short range. You tend to attract a lot of attention to yourself. You kind of have to go big or go home with it. It's not as tactical as an Annihilator or a Scythe or an ability. This is a public match ability. What's especially worse about using it in competitive is it doesn't kill your enemies immediately, and if you're playing comp, then you know your enemies are going to be top tier, and they're going to abuse that. Yeah, you purify them, but they're going to take you with them. They're going to kill you way quicker than any of these guys in pubs, but it is fantastic for pubs. If you're playing public Call of Duty, Purifier is very effective, very good, pretty much good on any class, and it doesn't charge especially slow, at least not compared to the other specialist weapons, so have no issues with it. And you gotta get fairly close to kill people, but whatever, that's the trade-off for the weapon being so awesome. So that is all for the actual weapon review part of this. We're going to talk about cosmetic options and some of the armor pieces and stuff. Firebreak's most basic outfit is not bad looking. It's just the regular old pyro. We have Arctic, Jungle, which just kind of changes the tint. We have some hockey mask kind of ones that are cool. I like the professional because it looks most like the hockey mask. And then the final row, EOD, Biohazard, and Diablo are very, very unique looking. I like each and every one of them. We have analogous ones on the bodies, of course, Pyro, Arctic, Jungle, kind of boring. Earth, I think, matches the character fantastically with all the red. The professional and the burn ones are very strange in my opinion. I don't think that EOD or Biohazard look very good either, but Diablo is very interesting. And of course, the hero gear is all gold, and that looks cool as well. So that's it for my specialist in-depth review, my very first one. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and kind of let me know how I'm doing on this episode because I'm not entirely comfortable with the format. Let me know if there's something else you would like to see. The previous episode was on all the specialist charge timers, so that if you're curious about how they compare to each other, that's a very good one. And the next episode is going to be on Spectre, which is both the Ripper and the active camo. These do take longer to make, so that might take a little... I've got 2 Spectres on stream right there on the screen, so that might take a little while. Do bear with me. Drifter out.